Today, I'm going to walk you through how artists will be working in 2026 and beyond, what's changing, what's dying, and what's coming back stronger than ever. Hey, it's Miriam Schulman. Today, we're going to talk about the future of creativity. And no, this is not another episode about how AI is taking over art. I don't even believe in that. Or how you need to post more reels, or how the algorithm is punishing you because you didn't dance on TikTok last Tuesday. What I want to talk to you about is what's actually happening underneath all of that.
Oh, this is good.
Because while the tech is getting faster and louder and more aggressive, artists are quietly doing the opposite. We're slowing down. We're reclaiming our studios. We're rehumanizing the creative process. And if you're a creative who's felt exhausted, uninspired, or vaguely allergic to the way creativity has been packaged over the last few years, you're not alone. Today, I'm going to walk you through how artists will be working in 2026 and beyond, what's changing, what's dying, and what's coming back stronger than ever.
It's exciting.
One of the biggest shifts I see coming, and it's already happening, is what I call the return of the ritual artist. Now, for years, creativity got squeezed into productivity culture. How fast can you make it? How often can you post it? How efficiently can you monetize it? And yes, us artists complied, and we batch created, and we content planned, and we optimized, and a lot of us got burnt out by that. But in 2026, studio habits are going to look very different.
Can you tell me how?
So a lot of artists, especially the artists I work with, we're reintroducing ritual into our creative lives. Not because it's trendy, but because our nervous systems demand it. We need a slower start to the day, analog sketchbooks, sacred studio time that is not filmed, documented, or explained. Not everything is content. Not everything is optimized. Some things are just made. And guess what? Luckily, collectors are responding to this too, by the way. They can feel when work is rushed. They can feel when it's performative. And they can feel when it's made for an algorithm instead of a human. Let me give you a real example. Christine Midgen is a jewelry artist and a longtime member of my inner circle. In fact, she even has a podcast called The Slow Made Artist. So she's kind of way ahead of this trend. Her work is the opposite of fast. It's intricate, it's layered, it's deeply considered, and she's not tracing trends. In fact, she knew that she might be more successful if she did distance herself from the artwork, batch production it, became the designer and have things mass produced. She didn't want that. She wanted art that was made slowly, one at a time. So she's not pumping out collections for novelty's sake. She builds bodies of work slowly, deliberately, and with reverence for craft. And here's what's important. That slowness doesn't hurt her business. It's part of her differentiator. In a world where everything can be generated instantly, slow made becomes the new status symbol. And time becomes visible in our artwork. Skill becomes visible. Care becomes visible. Now that we're in 2026, collectors will increasingly ask, who made this? How was it made? What lineage does it come from? So fast content fades and slow work is going to hold value and grow in value. Hey creatives, what if your art isn't just something you make, but part of something bigger? Because here's the truth. Your creativity is sacred. It's how you express your soul and serve others. But when fear, rejection, or confusion creep in, it's easy to lose sight of why you started creating in the first place. That's why I created the free Artpreneur Bootcamp to help you overcome fear, build resilience, and learn practical business skills without losing that spiritual connection that fuels your art. I'm Miriam Schulman. I'm author of the book Artpreneur, and I'm host of the Inspiration Place podcast. For over 25 years, I've helped artists just like you connect their creativity to their life's purpose and build thriving art businesses around it. So join me for free at schulmanart.com/bootcamp. It's time to honor your calling, share your gifts, and grow the art business you were meant to have. That's schulmanart.com/bootcamp. All right. Now we will talk about technology, specifically AI, because we need to clear something up. AI is not replacing artists, but it is replacing friction. So in the future, artists are using AI the way assistants used to be used for research, mock-ups, writing drafts, organizing thoughts, business admin, ideation support. But the actual art, the decisions, the taste, the emotional intelligence, that all stays human. The most effective creative workflow I see emerging looks like this: intuition first, exploration second, AI assist somewhere in the middle, and human refinement at the end. So AI can expand the possibility, but it absolutely does not replace authorship.
It really doesn't.
And artists who understand this will be less exhausted and more prolific and more creatively brave, because you're no longer wasting your best energy on tasks that don't deserve your creativity. Let's say this out loud. The algorithm doesn't love you back. I know you don't like it. It doesn't like you either. So now that we're in 2026, more artists are waking up to that reality. We're already seeing diminishing returns on constant posting. Engagement rates, if you haven't caught on, they're really low. They're rock bottom at this point. We have lower engagement, less visibility, but more pressure.
The pressure just builds and builds.
So a lot of us artists are opting out of this completely. Let's opt out of the hamster wheel, because you know why? You can succeed without social media. I have lots of proof of that, not just from me, but all the artists I work with. So if you're smart, this is what you're going to do this year. You're going to choose email over everything. Long form content, whether that's YouTube, emails, over disposable content. What's disposable content? Content that you're creating for stories, for TikTok. You're also going to invest more of your time, if you're smart, on direct relationships rather than rented platforms. What's a rented platform? Yeah, Instagram's a rented platform. It can be taken away from you at any time. Facebook is too. Pretty much everything is a rented platform unless you have a one-to-one relationship. Now, artists who thrive are not going to be louder. They're going to be clearer. You're going to be clearer. If you want to thrive, you got to be clear. You need to build an ecosystem instead of feeds. So what does an ecosystem look like? Studio notes, private previews, collector conversations, and maybe some behind the scenes writing. So this is slower, but it works. Hey, artists, if you're standing at the base of your art career, looking up at the mountain ahead, wondering how will you ever reach the top, you don't have to climb alone. I'm Miriam Schulman, author of Artpreneur and host of the Inspiration Place podcast. I've coached hundreds of artists and gotten dozens of them all the way to the top of the six-figure mark so they can make a sustainable living from their art. That's why I want you to join me for the Artpreneur Bootcamp, where I'll be your Sherpa, guiding you step by step up that mountain so you can take bold action, overcome fear, and finally see your art business from the summit. This free training will give you the map, the gear, and the confidence to start climbing higher than you ever imagined. Grab your spot now at schulmanart.com/bootcamp. This is the part that nobody talks about, but it's huge. We are entering a spiritual creativity revival. I'm not talking about religion. I'm not talking about dogma. I'm not even talking about God. What am I talking about by spiritual creativity revival? Means as the world gets noisier, people are going to crave grounding, beauty, presence, symbolism, and work that feels anchored. And many of us artists are returning to ancestry, ritual, memory, embodiment, nature, and identity, not as trends, but as survival strategies. So in the age of AI, our souls are going to become that differentiator. And people are not buying art just to decorate their walls. We talked about this in the Miami Art Week podcast, which we'll make sure we link to it. Yes, it can decorate your walls, but collectors are looking for art that they connect with, that feels that it represents their consciousness, and they are buying something that reminds them that they're human. So if you feel feel called to make work that is slower, deeper, more symbolic, that's not a liability. It's an advantage. Now, this year, what's going to happen is the idea that you need a massive audience to succeed will suddenly feel outdated. You don't need that. Small but mighty is going to beat big and disengaged. This is the David and Goliath moment that's going to define 2026. And the sooner you realize that, the more successful you'll be, because you'll stop wasting time on building that big audience and put your time into deepening the relationship with the people who are already part of your world, already on your list. What does this mean for you? Build private collector circles, VIP access, personalized previews, studio visits, and boutique offers. This is not influencer culture. This is relationship culture. And those of us who are introverts, we're going to rule this new world, because us introverts, we understand this better than anyone. This is not about overgiving. This is not about burning out. This is about building sustainable, profitable art careers. Okay, so let's wrap up. Here's the truth about the future of creativity. It's not going to be faster, louder, or more optimized. It's more intentional. The artists thriving this year will be the ones who work slowly enough to hear themselves think, use technology without outsourcing their soul, and build businesses that support their creativity, not consume it. And if that future feels like a relief to you, good. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. All right, my friend. So I hope this resonated with you. If you like this episode and you want more, make sure you hit the subscribe. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, take a screenshot, share it on the socials, tag @SchulmanArt over there. And I will see you same time, same place next week. Until then, stay inspired. Bye for now.